Hello, it's about 1 a.m. right now. I was studying actually. I mean, better to say I was trying to study. The words were there, nothing was going inside my head. So I thought, why not take a break, get some sleep, get some rest. Then I couldn't sleep because I had an exam today that didn't go that well as per my expectations. So all of that, tension and regret and guilt was going through my head, which is why I couldn't study. And then I tried to sleep, but the guilt of not studying made me unable to sleep. Tell me a better time to have an existential crisis. There isn't. I mean, it started with why didn't I study that well? Why didn't I do in my exam that well? And suddenly the question shifted to what am I doing with my life? Why am I doing this? And now it's all that's going inside my head. I am 21 now, and 21 is a funny age. Let me tell you why. Because when I was 15, 16, let's say up to 17, I didn't have a single thought in my head about what to do with my future. It was more like, I have to do well in this exam, and then I have to do well in next exam. I have to do well in this grade and that grade. I have to top. I have to do this, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly you're 18 and you're starting to think about different career options, exploring and all, and you think, oh, I have a lot of time. Yeah, we'll see about that. I am young and all, I'm still in my teen, and even 19 is fine. And suddenly you're 20 and you're like, oh, you know, whatever. Um, 20 is fine. I'm just an adult. I mean, I just crossed teenage, right? I have a lot of time in my hand, and boom, out of nowhere, you're 21, and suddenly time is running out. You are not a teenager anymore. You had a whole year of adult experience to yourself. You're 20, which you, by the way, wasted. And you, by I don't mean you, I mean myself. And the clock is just constantly ticking in your head. It's like a time bomb. In my head, I'm still 19. I wanna explore things. Like I have explored some, but I still wanna explore more before I settle down to a path. But at the same time, in my head, it is like, okay, you are still not sure which path you wanna settle down in. I mean, then what were you doing for the past 4 to 5 years? I mean, there are people who already know what they want to do with your life, and so you panic, and then you do this and you do that, you do that and this, and suddenly you're doing a lot of things hoping one of them work out, which is better than doing nothing, I guess. But when you're doing a lot of things and juggling a lot of sides, in actually it's worse than doing nothing, I would say. Like in your mind you're convincing yourself that at least I'm not sitting around at home, at least I am doing something. And then suddenly at the end of the day your clarity comes on, and you're like, I'm not focusing on anything particular. What if none of it works out? What if I just stay unemployed? Even worse, educated unemployed. I would have a master's degree, under my name, a lot of credits, but no place for myself. I mean, that's my worst nightmare. Even doing this video, I don't know where this is going. Like, I have no idea. I just needed to get this out of my head, so I started talking. But trust me, I have no idea where this line of thought, this train of thought is going. And to make things even worse, there's always this constant comparison. Like, if you're brought up in this household where your sibling and your cousins are very, academically successful people, like, God bless them. I'm really happy for them, trust me. But suddenly people are expecting a lot of things from you. You are expecting from yourself. And to be honest, I won't say I'm bad at studies. I have good marks. I have good academics, good extracurriculars, but it's nothing outstanding either. And there's always this eternal urge to, stand out from the crowd, to make a name for yourself, which is again funny because I am not that kind of person who wants to make herself stand out in the crowd. I would very much like to blend in the crowd, and even better, I would rather exclude myself from the crowd. But I can't because my brain is not developed that way. I was raised in a certain way, people, and that certain way is just to push yourself and push yourself and push yourself for validation. Yes, you had me right. So, who am I if not academically validated? That's my whole identity. If you ask me, up until my 20s, I won't say 20, maybe by late 19, I had started developing this thought. But before that, if you had asked me, what is your achievement in life? How? No, better. How would you describe yourself? Tell me one good thing about yourself. I would have nothing to show you except my marks, my scorecard, my report. And when you spent your whole life that way, and suddenly emotional turmoil starts to build up, it just, it starts building up, but you're suppressing it, and then one time it just bursts out, and suddenly you're panicking. Like, your grades are not where you want them to be. But good side is your hobbies are coming back to yourself. Things you love, things where your passion lies. Then again, this tiny voice in your head is always going like, um, your passion isn't something that is going to make you stand out, make you as successful as your peers. I don't even know what the parameter of success is. Right now, you would expect a 20-year-old to know, but I don't. And all this turmoil, all this confusion just gets worse and worse once this comparison, starts just bubbling in your head. Even my friends, the one I grew up with, I'm still close to them. And most of them are watching this video, I guess. They're my biggest supporters. But even with them, like you're this in school, you're all together, you're all buddies, and even in graduation, we were together. Well, but and then suddenly, like everyone is on different path, and if you think about it, they are in the same boat as me. You know, they are also drowning with no idea where they are going to finally come out of the water. But you are drowning and you see that other person drowning, and you're like, that person has more chances of survival than me. That's the case with myself. My friends are more or less in the same phase. They're very confused about what to do. They're very unsure of yourself, but yet somehow I have convinced myself that I am the only one, far, far, far behind my friends, far behind my cousins, far behind everyone, and I will never be able to get up from that. Which again brings me back to my question, what am I doing with my life? I am 21 now. Just 1 year later, I would be almost done with my master's. So, no more studying, but I don't want to go for my doctorate. Like, sorry, sis, but I am not you. I don't think I can handle any more academic pressure. But if not academic pressure, then there is job hunt, which is even more intimidating. But when I have to stand up on these feet. I have to be independent. Again, what is independence? What is freedom? Like, don't kill myself, but just having a job, just having a secure job and earning money for yourself, will that just give me everything in life I was craving for? According to my parents and my relatives, that is. But if in the process I lose myself, I lose what I love, then is that worth achieving? Counter argument again, you will see why I am so conflicted. If for now I do not sacrifice what I love, I do not sacrifice this part of myself, then in future, how would I provide the means for being myself? I cannot depend on someone forever. I think this is why when you're a teenager, you aren't much concerned about these things. I mean, I wasn't. I won't speak for everyone. I know few are very serious. You always have your parents to rely on. And 20, the age 20 is like this trial version. You are just out of teenage, but you're not an adult yet. So you're like, just starting to figure out things. But once you just cross that zero and go into one, responsibilities. And responsibility is such a big word. You have to take your own responsibility. And because I can't rely on my parents forever, right? Or my sister. For me to take my own responsibility, I have to do something right. I have to succeed in something. What is that something? I mean, I get up every day, I struggle. I don't struggle as much as every other, but I do struggle in my own ways. I study a lot. I have sacrificed a lot of things. I I don't do a lot of things that I love because I'm scared that it will take away my time from, you know, the important things. Important. But what if in the end nothing works out? What if in the end everything was in vain? What if in the end I was wrong from the very beginning? What if in the end this is not the path for me? What if in the end this is not what I should be doing right now? There's, there's no escape to this question. Every adult will relate to this. No matter, like, you can't run away from this question. And someday it will catch up to me. And I absolutely dread the day when it will catch up to me. But for now, I'm just running away. Running away from what? I don't know. Running away towards what? I don't know. All of my elders say that don't worry so much, just put your best. And life has its own way. It will figure something out for you. I don't I am not much comfortable with the idea of life figuring out something for myself. But it's not I can do anything, right? I mean, I will probably go to sleep today. I don't know when, but I will eventually. And eventually, a new day will come in. Eventually, I will go about my day. Eventually, I will fall into the routine. And eventually, weeks will pass, months will pass. I will be 22, and I will again ask myself, what the heck am I doing with my life? Good night, everybody.